Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend, my lovelies. Thank you so much for your well wishes. I do indeed feel a lot better today. We have defeated the barley belly. I think I was just feeling confident because I didn't have it last time I came here. So I was like, oh, it's fine. And then yesterday, oh my God. But I actually managed to get past it without throwing up or anything. Just took some activated charcoal and I am fine now. Ah, now, before I start, those of you who've seen the messages on my community tab probably already know what I'm going to say. But I want to just start by clearing some things up. I posted something on the community tab regarding Kate Middleton. I think some people completely and utterly misunderstood what I said and what I meant or why I was saying that. So I want to read my original statement and then I want to read a follow up. And I also posted this on Instagram as well, and it seemed to get the same reaction. So I want to read the original post and I want to read the follow up just so we have some clarity because I don't want anyone misunderstanding what I was trying to say. So, my original statement, I said, taking responsibility as a content creator. I hit 30,000 subscribers on YouTube and I'm growing by about 500 subscribers a day. That is both delightful and scary. I never imagined that I would get such a large following, but now I have. I know my words carry weight, and with that comes responsibility. I genuinely believe there is something wrong with Kate Middleton, and as rumors of divorce get louder, whatever is going on could get worse. While I do not believe that she deserves any great amount of sympathy, she was very much part of a smear campaign that was out to destroy Meghan. I do believe that we as a community and I as a creator can choose to be responsible. For that reason, I am asking you who follow my pages to respect a few new guidelines. These are only applicable to my pages. I do not speak for, neither am I attempting to police other suspect related platforms, all of whom I love, of course. The following will now be banned from Duchess of Success platforms and pages. Use of the phrase KK Kate. Anything that refers to the children, with the exceptions of criticisms of how the institution treats or uses the children. Anything that references the state of anyone's mental health or illnesses, anything that references body image or body related disorders. General criticism is still allowed, of course, as long as it doesn't descend into any of the above. Referring to Camilla as a wicked stepmother is still very much permitted. Thank you for understanding. Now, for some reason, a lot of people did not understand this, and I got a lot of comments like this. Ask us a Brit. I think they were saying Black Brit. Ask us a Black Brit. Boycott Duchess of Success channel. She's kissing the. Yeah, you can probably make out what that is. We love our American Meg. This is disrespectful. And so, to clarify, for those who have struggled with reading comprehension, nowhere in my original statement did I say that anybody had to feel compassion for Kate or feel sorry for her. A lot of the responses that I got was, I'm not going to feel sorry for Kate. Why should I feel sorry for Kate? I didn't say that you had to. Everybody with eyes can see the obvious, and I'm not about to beat a wounded horse. Meghan herself chose not to. We all remember what she said in the Oprah interview regarding Kate Middleton. Secondly, being a responsible content creator and choosing to set boundaries does not mean that I like Kate Middleton. It means that I am an adult. Being responsible for the fact that thousands of people now follow my pages and listen to my words, meaning that my words now have weight. And quite frankly, I think that more content creators should be conscious of this as they grow. I am a real person with a real life, and I am absolutely conscious about how I may be perceived in real life based on what I allow on my pages. I consider it to be a reflection of myself, and I judge others the same way. I stated 4 specific things I did not want to see on my platform. I did not say that we cannot criticize Kate Middleton or the other royals where warranted. I do that almost every single day. And one of the things that I love about this community is that we are able to intellectually have debates and with nuance and with humor. And I want that to continue. Jazz hands is still permitted and will always be funny. Because when the seams in the House of Windsor start to unravel, they will blame everyone but themselves, and no doubt they will come after pages like mine. I'm not going to give them ammunition. So I hope that clears up what I was trying to say. Because I was quite shocked at some of the responses that I got, and I was definitely shocked at stuff like this. Could not believe that I was getting comments like this. Oh, hate to start the podcast like that, but I had to. Oh, my gosh. Thank you, Janita. Hi, Leslie. Hope you're having a great day at work. Thank you, Gahab. I wish more people would have understood as well. Thank you, Carol. Yes, Valerie. God is dealing with them and God is watching. Like, there's nothing that we have to do. And like I said, genuine critique where it's warranted is still very much allowed. I'm not, stopping you from putting forward your opinions in that regard. There are just very specific things that I just don't, feel that are a good reflection of me or of us as a community anymore. Okay. On to the next thing. Yeah, this popped up again. So I think I kind of went over this yesterday and why the press keep trying to align Meghan with politics, because ultimately it would just allow them to bully her 100 times more than they do now, because she would be seen as a political figure. So you had skynews.au, a Murdoch outlet, literally just printing a lie, an outright lie, that Meghan was in talks with Governor Newsom to replace Dianne Feinstein. Has Dianne Feinstein even been buried yet? And they're writing things like this? Obviously a blatant lie, only for a new individual to be selected to fill in Dianne Feinstein's seat. And again, at what point do we recognize that, yes, the press should have, freedom of press, freedom of speech, but when they abuse that freedom, there needs to be consequences. And there are just no consequences at all. And I don't know at what point or what we even do at this point to stop things like this. And this isn't even the worst of it. Like, this you can actually just brush. It's ridiculous, but you can just brush it off. At the worst of it, it affects people's lives, and it's not just, people like Harry and Meghan who are in the public eye, even ordinary people. And I've done podcasts on this before. If you go back a couple of months, I did one on, the individuals who were caught up in the London bombings, and how the press can even just go after normal people. And there's just no consequences at all. All right. Next thing. Now, obviously, that whole thing about Meghan being involved in politics, partly is to, rev up the vitriol, but it is also clickbait. And what's disappointing is that you have people in the media who should know better And instead of seeing it for what it is, engage in a way that just adds fuel to the fire. And unfortunately, that includes black Brits, like what we saw today. So this is, I believe, Afua Scott, and she went on Good Morning Britain and started talking about this story. Now, first and foremost, I don't think that she should have gone on Good Morning Britain to talk about this. And and if she had chosen to go on, I wish that she had made a point that I've already made about why it is that the tabloids are reporting on this. Instead, she kind of plays into the narrative. So I'm just going to play the clip. Sorry, I'm going to play the audio of the clip, and then we'll discuss.
So she would have been a gift to the Democrats, the same way that she might be a gift to the Republicans. Donald Trump is a gift to the Democrats. Like, they're both divisive figures. We have to accept that. No one's going to love everything about both of them. But if
And that I really take an issue with that, saying that both Meghan and Donald Trump are divisive figures. Donald Trump is a divisive figure. Meghan has been put at the center of the culture wars, and people who believe the vitriol see her as a divisive figure because of lies that have been printed. She herself is not a divisive figure, and to put her in the same sentence as Donald Trump and say they're both divisive figures in that way, I find that very problematic.
a poll amongst Democrats would reveal that she's the person they would most vote for, then she would definitely be a gift to the Democrats. Absolutely.
This is what people said about Jeremy Corbyn. He was very popular among the Labour membership, but then when he went to the polls in 2019, he got. And that's the honest truth of it. And the reason is because he appealed internally, but he didn't appeal externally. And the polling shows that Meghan is the same. She appeals to Democrats, but then outside of that core Democrat base, she's a divisive figure who people don't warm to, unfortunately.
Right.
I mean, what do you even say to that? Nothing has been said about Meghan running for office at all. This conversation should not have even been had, and I'm very, very disappointed that Afua chose to engage. Oh dear. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. I really do appreciate that. Yes, girl, Lewis, don't want to stoop to deranger mentality. Oh. Thank you so much, Alibi. Yeah, hey, it's me. Like, the new senator has been chosen already. I think that after the court case or cases with Harry are finished, whether or not he wins, and I think he will, I think it's going to spark a whole new conversation. And then we can maybe look after that where we go from here in terms of press accountability. Especially when it comes to Murdoch and Rothermere and the section of the press that they control in the UK and abroad. Thank you so much for being a member for 14 months, Church Nelly. Appreciate you so much and everything that you do, being a mod and a great contributor to the community. Thank you. Lydia, Sky is the horror channel. No one of good mind should be watching it. Yeah, and I have to say, I do think that Sky AU is actually worse than Sky UK, but that's only because Murdoch got his clause taken out of Sky UK. Yeah, Ginger Lily, I didn't really see any serious US news organizations reporting on it either. So there was no need for her to go on. Let the trolls be trolls. Stop engaging like this. You will never see me on one of these shows. let me just say. I will not go on, I will not call in, I will never engage with the UK press ever. All right. Next thing. Over with Spotify. So there was this segment on BBC where the reporter was trying to dig for drama where there really was none. So let's just take a listen to this and then we will discuss. One sec.
Duchess of Sussex, they released 12 podcasts in 2.5 years. Was that worth £18 million? We thought new innovation was needed here. We saw.
Okay, so the sound is a little bit bad, but if you didn't get that, the BBC presenter asks the Spotify guy, was the £18 million that they spent on archetypes, was it worth it? To his credit, he actually gives a very diplomatic answer. But I thought it was very shady that she even decided to bring that up.
Experience that both makes consumers very happy and allows new creators new avenues. And the truth of the matter is, some of it has worked, some of it hasn't. We learn from those that we're moving on, and we wish all the ones we didn't renew with the best of success that they can have. It's very diplomatic. I'm getting better at that.
Yeah, so she actually responds by saying that was very diplomatic. He basically said, we wish everyone that we didn't continue with good luck. And he doesn't actually say anything bad about archetypes or about Harry or Meghan. But the Rangers were out in full force trying to spin what he said as the Spotify executive saying that, archetypes was not financially viable. Now, if the second most popular podcast on your platform of the year is not financially viable, well, that's not because of the podcast. That's just because your model is broken. And I do just think that Spotify's whole model is broken. And I think they're actually trying to change their model, especially when it comes to the podcast. I think they're trying to market themselves to a very different audience from what maybe they started off as. Especially when you consider that Joe Rogan is one of the most popular, or the most popular podcast on Spotify. And when you consider it's not just Harry and Meghan's who decided to leave Spotify, also the Obamas decided to leave Spotify. There was also another page that was, podcast that was focused around the environment that also decided to leave Spotify. So clearly they are prioritizing a very particular type of content creator. And I just don't think it sat well with what people like Harry and Meghan are trying to create. And despite how the BBC or trolls want to paint it, even in Spotify's earning reports, they did specifically call out Meghan's Archetypes as a notable exclusive podcast premiere in their third quarter, having hit number 1 and trending in multiple countries. Right, one last thing that I wanted to mention, this came up. Actually, it's still loading, so I will let that load and I'll go to your comments. Thank you so much, Sandra. Yeah, Lil Smack, why would you put Meghan in the same sentence as Donald Trump? Why? Unnecessary and unneeded. Jane Commonwealth thought those people don't know anything about Meghan politics. Yeah. Definitely not enough to be commenting like that. Yes, C-Mac. This is strictly to draw right-leaning people to attack her. Anita, GB News cannot function without Meghan. I don't think they can. Even today, I mean, I'm to be GB News actually talk about Meghan almost every other day. I just choose not to highlight every single um show that they do unless I really feel it's relevant. Otherwise, I could probably mention GB News and what they say about Meghan almost every single day. I just choose not to because I'm not like unless I just feel that it's absolutely necessary. Oh, I'm tired enough. Like without having to um talk about every single thing that they talk about when it comes to Meghan. Like I do not want to have Angela Trent's face on my podcast every single day. Yeah, and I don't think that she wants to be a politician either. And even if she did, I don't think it would be anytime soon. Meghan, if she personally looks at this, must be thinking these people are living in the twilight zone. I don't think that Meghan looks at the tabloids. From everything, based on everything that she has said, I don't think she does. I think Harry does. I think Harry has some burner accounts. I'm actually just starting to think that Harry is Church Nelly. uh, Valerie, Black British people really need to focus on what's happening here. Why Black British women are talking about Meghan? We have young Black women dying. Yeah, I mean, it's like the focus should be on other things, especially given some of the things that have happened the last few weeks. This shouldn't even be a topic of conversation. This is such a distraction. Thank you so much, R. Carter. Okay, so this came up. Now, to be honest, I don't know if this is real or this is a troll account. Whether this person is just trolling. Nonetheless, I found it rather hilarious. And Paul Burrell, who was Diana's former butler and has made a whole life and living out of being Diana's former butler, he was literally struggling with cancer and he was still ranting about Harry and Meghan. So I'm actually inclined to believe that this could possibly actually be a real person and not just a troll. But anyway, this individual named Paul Belgium, so he doesn't show his real face, but he has a very active account and he's a royalist. He said, Dear Sir Royal Family and Kensington Royal, as you are undoubtedly aware, there is an ongoing and intense dispute regarding the aberrant conduct exhibited by the Prince and Princess of Sussex towards our esteemed royal family. I do not have long left due to advanced stage 4 cancer, so I implore you to address the matter concerning Harry and Meghan. This conflict is inflicting widespread harm to thousands of individuals, and it is occurring under your reign as king. The battle transpires between the true supporters of the Sussexes and the loyal adherents of the British monarchy. Although we may not witness physical projectiles like bullets or rockets being launched, an acrimonious war fueled by animosity is being waged, and only you possess the ability to bring it to an end. While it may not resemble the 1743 Battle of Dettingen, led by King George II, you undoubtedly possess the unwavering support of your dedicated royal servants. I have to give this person points. This is some of the best royal fan fiction I've ever heard. We require your leadership as you safeguard the esteemed reputation of the British monarchy. Blah 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 blah. If you would like the letter, please join me and follow me. So my correspondence has greater power. All followers, I'll follow back. I mean, this is the literal definition of you are going to die mad being mad about it. Stage 4 cancer and you're still mad. I mean, if this is actually true, um, I think it's hilarious. And granted that Paul Burrell literally came out and said that he was suffering from an illness and was still going on shows ranting about Harry and Meghan. I'm inclined to believe that this could be true. And with that, now that we've had a giggle, I'm gonna end the podcast. Thank you so much as always, everyone. Really do appreciate you and your messages, and your support, and just being respectful of how I feel. I want my platform to be represented. It means a lot to me, and you mean a lot to me. Okay. Let's end with your comment. One sec. Let's put a nice picture. Harry checking out his woman. If you don't look at me like this, I don't want it. Yeah, Joan Hickey, I don't like the way she called Meghan divisive either. Because Meghan is not divisive at all. She's been made to be that way in a very unfair way. Jay Mueller, you said, what do they want from Meghan? To beg on the streets? That is exactly what they wanted. I mean, there were literally cartoons of Meghan and Harry working in McDonald's. Mind you, there's nothing wrong with working in McDonald's. But it just shows you what they wanted for this couple. And the idea that that's the position, that Harry and Meghan would end up in was crazy. I mean, Meghan had a whole blog, a clothing line, an Instagram page, and 3 million. But at the very, very, even if Harry and Meghan had flopped completely, at the very least, they'd just be rich influencers. So I don't know where this idea, came from that they'd be begging and desperate. Not to mention the huge network of, friends and connections that Meghan had before she ever married into the Unroyal Mafia. So, yeah, it was always just ridiculous to um assume that Harry and Meghan would just be, just left begging and desperate, or run back to the firm um with their tails between their legs. Rochelle, Spotify cannot afford to pay Meghan accordingly to her numbers of listeners. Yeah, they can't even afford to pay their artists accordingly. I mean, you can get millions and millions and millions of streams, and it still only amounts to something like what, like 60p or something. Some of the things I've heard were just ridiculous. I think this is why Taylor Swift got into it with Spotify. Like, their whole model is broken, and artists um deserve to be paid for their work. Joan Hickey, what people are missing are that they see Meghan as a strong contender and capable woman. I feel it's blocking everyone on Twitter getting grief. Yeah, I hope she doesn't. Listen, I don't necessarily want Afua to get grief, but I think she needs to hear why what she said was wrong, and why she should not engage with these people in the way that she did. I just hope that she can learn from this. Valerie, I find it very strange that you can have a whole royal family. Why such a focus on a couple who live in America? Well, the couple in America apparently makes the tabloids more money than a whole royal family and a whole king that was just coronated. That's why. Amelia, did you see The King of Sweden did a documentary on Netflix too? No, I did not, but now that you have mentioned it, I will check it out. What was it about? That's interesting. Thank you so much, Lottie. Appreciate it. Mary MP. The only office I see Meghan wanting to run for is president of the Parent Teacher Association at her kids' school. I could actually see that happening for sure. I mean, Archie's taken fruits and vegetables to school already, and they're very much involved in the community. I can see that happening. Oh, Ginger Lily, she has been blocking votes left and right. Well, instead of blocking people, at least just listen and understand what people's concerns are, because I think the criticism is warranted. Andrea, I've never seen one woman go through so much nonsense every day for so many years. Yeah. Like criminals. The worst criminals have never been attacked consistently in such a sustained way, ever. Truly, it needs to be dismantled and studied, and everyone who has taken part in this held accountable. Yeah, Annie, what are they deflecting from this time? Wooten's firing? Oh. All right, who's going to get the last word of the day? Thank you as always, folks. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button on your way out and subscribe if you're not already. According to my YouTube stats, 50% of you who watch aren't subscribed. The YouTube stats are telling on you. Thank you so much. Hates me. Do well and be well. And you also, all of you, thank you as always. And I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.
For a fact, they both don't like that woman.
Yep, I told you.
I tell you that because, furthermore, if you look at the situation, their father met that woman when he was 29. Do you know how old Diana was? 16. Diana was 16.
My goodness.
My man
What
was
would they say in 2023?
you see? The Ace police have not said anything.
The Ace
So
police.
now, when your
Severe grooming.
imagine your mother goes on TV
Brutal, man.
and says your father and his descendants and his predecessors are bullying me, they're making me not eat, the woman is giving me sleepless nights, and then my mother dies, and then you go and marry that woman. Huh? You think I'm gonna like that woman?
That is a slap in the face.
A big slap in the face. But for William, as you said, he's sucking up because what? For him, he wants to be king.
He wants to be king.
So, but Harry, my guy, my brother,
My guy.
sticking up for his
William
brother.
is what you call a man that does not stand for anything, but fall for anything.
He will fall. Look at him; he's just like the wind.
That's why his head is falling as well. His hair is falling out.
Allegedly, he's also like father, like son. I hear.
Yeah.
He also has a side copy, but
Allegedly, but now
Allegedly.
Is this a news flash?
And allegedly,
Are you breaking?
she was there at the
We
coronation.
didn't confirm it, you didn't hear it here.
Me, I'm just talking what I read in the newspapers.
Yeah.
What newspaper is this?
That already she was also there at the coronation. On Camilla's side. That's what I saw.
William had chest, eh?
Allegedly. So for me, I don't think they like her, but they tolerate her.
So they have a Department of Side Peace Affair.
Uh-huh.
Did you not see that?